Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at some photographs in my collection. Mostly we're going to be looking at 5 photographs, but there's a 6th one that kind of goes along with this. So this isn't as much as what's on the photographs, but also what the soldier happened to write on them that really gives us a lot of information. I happen to know that the soldier was Helmut Brandt, and he came from the 11th Company, 2nd Battalion, 50th Regiment, 111th Division. Now, if you've watched the channel for any extended period of time, I've covered the 111th in a variety of ways, whether it was members of it, photographs from them, overall divisional items or things, whatever. So this is from the soldier's perspective on the Battle of Birki, which was just outside of Dubno. Now, if you're not familiar with Dubno, this was in the first few days of Operation Barbarossa, and it was a huge tank battle outside of this area. So this is really interesting. This is a very small town, though, so this combat was only for a brief period of time. We'll go through, we'll take a quick look at these photographs, the front and the back. His handwriting is a little rough, so maybe if someone else wants to really take a gander at it, I'm just going to kind of basically cover the idea of it. He's discussing that there's a bridge near Birki, and then these photographs that you see right now says something to the effect of about 150 meters away from the Russians. So we'll dive in, we'll look at the photographs, and then I'm going to read to you a little bit from the divisional history book and let them tell you about what happened on the day that this combat would have been going on. Meanwhile, panzer divisions had been pushed out. The 16th Panzer Division on Kozen, Krzyminich, the 11th Panzer Division via Dubno on Ostrog, and the 13th Panzer Division via Dubno on Rovno. In Dubno, there were supply units of the Panzer Divisions bearing the K of Panzergruppe Kleist on their vehicles. During the night, the sound of tracks had been heard from the forest west of the city, but they suspected it was their own tanks. Our division was advancing with exposed flanks, as the neighboring infantry divisions were lagging behind. On the morning of June 28th, Hauptmann Oppermann of the 117th Infantry Regiment, currently the division's staff officer for march control, arrived in Dubno to reconnoiter a division command post in Volika, south of the city. There he encountered Oberst Ropke, commander of Infantry Regiment 50, which formed the vanguard. The Oberst expressed the surprise at this rather daring assignment given the unclear situation. The Soviets had concentrated several panzer corps here in the Lukrovno-Dubno triangle, certainly proof that the war had not caught the Soviet Union completely unprepared on June 22nd. Strong enemy tank forces were located in the wooded and hilly terrain west and southwest of Dubno. They were already cut off and were attempting to establish contact with their strong infantry forces southeast of the city via Dubno Junction after being attacked from the south by our 16th Panzer Division. The vanguard of our division, the reinforced Infantry Regiment 50, passed through Dubno in the early hours of June 28th, heading southeast via Detnice to Sobodowski, while the bulk of our division, the reinforced Infantry Regiment 117 and the 70th, as well as the motorized group, followed at the rear. The morning passed without enemy contact. Around midday, Infantry Regiment 50 ejected weak enemy forces from Detnice and took the heights around Birki, where the regiment soon had to fend off heavy attacks. Infantry Regiment 117 also encountered the Russians at Ploska, as did AA 117, deployed to the left at Semidubi, which subsequently changed hands several times. Around 10 a.m., a Luftwaffe radio message triggered an alarm. A reconnaissance aircraft had detected strong enemy armored and motorized forces, approximately 100 combat vehicles southwest of Dubno, in the Sitno Verba area. This report was soon confirmed. Enemy tanks appeared in front of Infantry Regiment 50 and 117, each reinforced by one Artillery Regiment 117 detachment. The battle began. In the afternoon, Infantry Regiment 70, which had already been attacked by individual tanks on the march, also reached Dubno, while the 1st and 2nd Battalions were engaged in the fighting near Gorniki, southeast of the city. The 3rd Battalion remained in the city. At 5:40 p.m., 2nd Battery Artillery Regiment 117 was attacked west of Dubno by 28 tanks, 12 of which were shot down in fierce fighting from open firing positions, but 3 guns from our battery were also destroyed. At this time, Infantry Regiment 117 was engaged near Terranoka against the mighty KV-1 and colossal KV-2, as well as the maneuverable T-34. The 3.7-inch anti-tank gun of the 14th Company, Infantry Regiment 117, was powerless against the heavy armor. The 5-centimeter anti-tank gun was taken by surprise and disabled. The 2nd Company, Infantry Regiment 117, threatened from the rear, withdrew to Dubno. By evening, our Infantry Regiment 70 was also in a dangerous position. The division commander had relocated his forward command post from Velika to Dubno and placed the city on defensive alert. He placed under his command the 8.8 centimeter anti-aircraft batteries of the Air Regiment General Goering, located in Dubno, anti-tank platoons of the 13th Panzer Division, and tank repairs from armored vehicle workshops, as well as supply services and Corps intelligence units. The Panzerjägerabteilung 111 was ordered to Dubno and deployed company by company along the outskirts of the city. Engineers laid minefields on the western and southern entrances to the town. Before dark, everything was ready to repel an enemy tank attack. Loud engine noises could be heard on the western heights. The 3rd Company, Infantry Regiment 70, and the 2nd Company, Infantry Regiment 117, were deployed on security duties. Several enemy tanks attacked at the southwest exit of Dubno, causing panic among the rear guards of various divisions, necessitating drastic action. 2 8.8 centimeter anti-aircraft guns were knocked out by shelling. The division commander personally directed the deployment of defensive weapons at the southwest exit when a heavy tank broke through our defenses. The general took cover in time. His Kubelwagen was parked across the road. Only an 8.8 centimeter anti-aircraft gun was still firing. Then the mighty Colossus turned backwards. Several enemy attacks continued until late in the evening, during which some Russian tanks were shot down by mines, other by anti-tank guns, anti-aircraft guns, and artillery. Okay, so after checking that out, I did one more thing to share, and then I think we'll wrap this up. So given just that first day of battle at Dubno, we know that it was pretty intense combat between the tanks and all of that. So in the divisional history book, as they list casualties at the very end, it says Panzer Battle by Dubno, and it's listed as starting at the 28th of June and going until the 1st of July. So for that time span, they have listed for the divisional losses, total dead 180, total wounded 666, and missing 65. If I break it down farther, for the dead, 6 officers, 27 under-officers, or NCOs, and 147 men killed. For wounded, 30 officers, 83 NCOs, and 553 men. For missing, we have 0 officers, 3 NCOs, and 62 soldiers. So for one of the first, what I would say, large-scale battles of the Eastern Front for this division, they had already taken pretty heavy losses compared to what they had suffered in France and prior to that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, checking out these pictures. As I said before, I've got over 150 items from the soldier's collection. Someday we'll do a video on just his stuff. And I did just want to make clear too, the other photos outside of these 5 and 6 that I'm showing are just photos from my collection. The photo of the artillery gun that is from Artillery Regiment 117. However, it's not dated. It's not saying that it's near Dubno or Birki or anything like that. I just use it for a visual. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you on the next one and have a great rest of the day.